Hello, and welcome to Celebrating Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion through Children's Literature. Our goals for today is to determine what diversity is, equity is, and inclusion is, the importance of inclusion, how children's literature can help us address these issues, and what we can do in the classroom. The standards I'm covering today is the Kentucky Teacher Performance Standard 2, Learning Differences, and Standard 7, Planning for Instruction. In order to address diversity, equity, and inclusion in the classroom, we must define these words. Webster's Dictionary defines diversity as the condition of having or being composed of different elements, especially the inclusion of people of different races, cultures, or etc. in a group or organization. Equity is defined as justice according to the natural law or right, specifically freedom from bias or favoritism. Inclusion is the act of including or the state of being included. So why is diversity, equity, and inclusion important in the classroom? Think back on your life. Think of a time that you were a part of a group, but you felt excluded or not important in that group. I'll give you just a moment to think about it. Now that you thought about an experience where you've had an issue with this, I want you to think about how you felt. Here's another question for teachers. Would you ever want your students to feel that way? Watch these video clips on how students themselves feel about diversity. Which mindset would you want your students to have? The answer may seem obvious, but we have students today that still have the mindset of the first video where they feel like they are not as important or that their differences are not accepted in the classroom. This is where we need to change things. There are many ways to teach diversity, equity, and inclusion. However, one popular way that most teachers are using today is through children's literature. Picture books are a part of our daily life and education. The beauty of picture books is there's a book about everything. There are many books about diverse topics that support inclusion and teach students a sense of community. The book you choose to use in your classroom will be based on the diverse topic that you are covering. In this presentation, we will be looking at books on race, ability, gender identity, language, and religion. However, there are so many more diverse topics that may need to be covered in your location. This story about diversity is about race. This story is about a little boy that is very confident in his skin. He doesn't mind that his parents are different races and that he shows his readers how cool he is. A book that I found on ability is called Just Ask. In this story, we meet kids with different health conditions, such as diabetes, blindness, needs of service dog. So these children teach others that, hey, it's okay. We all need different things. And if you have questions, just ask. The book, It Feels Good to Be Yourself, is a book about gender identities. This is something that teaches students different gender identities, the definitions, and the pronouns. This is important to teach children that even if you hear somebody that is different than you or goes by one of these pronouns, it is good to be yourself and it's good to treat them with respect as well. A diverse book on language is a book about a little girl that celebrates her family and their Spanish traditions. The book is written in English, but it uses Spanish words and teaches those words through context clues. A diverse book I found on religion is called Under the Bodhi Tree. This book explains about a little boy and his family that practices Buddhism. Your turn. Take a moment to talk with your neighbors and identify a diverse need that you have noticed in your school or in your classroom that most students may be unaware of. Now that you've thought of your topic, think of a child in your classroom that may fall under the category of your diverse topic. Identify this child, discuss how they may feel, and decide what book you could use to read to your class to help this child feel included. Assessment time. Is there diversity in every classroom? Think about it. Yes or no? Should diverse topics be addressed within your lessons? Please tell me why or why not. Give one reason why you would want to use children's literature to address diversity, equity, and inclusion. In conclusion, every child's different. Everybody brings their own backgrounds to the table. It is important that we celebrate those differences, not just tolerate them. It is important that we provide just equity, education for everyone, and that we make everyone feel included. Using children's literature can help us. When you go back to your classroom and you have a moment, evaluate your classroom library. Choose one diverse topic that relates to your students. See if you have any books in there. If not, search for one and get going. I promise your children will appreciate it.